It's always good to have a plan as things are happening to know um, what am I going to do if this happens or if that happens. And so planning is important. Having a plan is important. When we lived in Haiti, it was in the spring of the year, kind of at the end of the dry season. The fields hadn't been planted yet, and the rains were just getting ready to start. And I had a man who had done some interpreting for me in the early months that we were there, and uh, and he wanted me to go with him to a church that he was working with up in the mountain, up on the mountain. And so he said, we can drive up there, and now because there's no corn in the fields, and so we can drive there. And so I borrowed a Mitsubishi Pajero, uh, which from Mission to go up there. Unfortunately, the four-wheel drive wasn't working, so it just had two-wheel drive. So we headed up there. It was my family and Sony, and it was quite a drive. Like we had a road the first part of the way, and then we didn't have a road. We just had a footpath, and I would drive with one wheel on the footpath and one wheel over in the field, and we could drive that way. We got to a hill that was just rocks, about 6, 8 inches in diameter, just one on top of another. And I told Sony, I can't drive up that. And he said, "Don't say you can't. You didn't even try yet." And so I backed up and I took a run for it. And oh, we just scrambled up there, but we made it through the section of rocks and got up the hill. And okay, we made that. And got up there, and then he was saying, "Now we're going to be okay here, but because you don't have four-wheel drive, if it starts raining, we need to leave because we won't get out of here if it rains because it'll get muddy and we won't be able to get out because you don't have four-wheel drive. We'll be stuck in here." So we went. We had church and had a service there, and then we had lunch after the service with the people, and we were eating lunch when it started to rain. And Sony said, "We need to leave right now." So we quit eating, we dropped everything, we picked up our stuff, we ran out to the vehicle, we started driving back. We got most of the way out to the main road, and then we got to a dip that we came down one hill and down through a ravine and then up. We had to go up the other side. Well, I couldn't get up the other side. I would just spin out, and wasn't. I, I tried. I tried 3 or 4 times, and I back up as far as I could up the hill and just go as fast as I could and shift into as high a gear as possible. But when I go up the hill, then I'd have to shift down, and when I'd shift down, I'd lose momentum, and then it would spin out, and I just wasn't making it. And it was kind of there was a bit of a bank there, and we didn't want to slide down over that bank, and it was a little bit frightening, but um, it was also discouraging because we weren't getting up the hill. So then Sony said, "Okay, what you need to do is you need to go over into the cornfield, like go up the hill in an angle, and then go up to a point in the cornfield, and then angle back and come back to the top of the hill." Because you're trying to go straight up the hill and it's too steep. But if you angle a little bit sideways on the hill, work your way up, and then turn, come back to the road, to the path, uh, I think you'll make it. So he said, "I'll go and stand at the point in the cornfield where you should aim for that point, and then that's where you should turn." So he said, "When you get to me, don't stop. Like just go as fast as you can and come up through the cornfield And when you get to me, then turn and angle back and head back to the path. So I said, okay, we'll try it. Well, our daughter Jennifer said, I'm not going with you. You guys are going to kill yourselves, and I'm not going along. I'm not going to do that. So I want out. Okay, it's up to you. So we left her out, and she went with Sony up in the cornfield, and we backed up the hill as far as we could, and got a run for it. We angled up through the cornfield, got up to Sony, we turned, and we made the angle back, and we headed back. We got back up to the path, got up to the top of the hill. It was successful. So Sony and Jennifer came. They got back in the Pajero, and we were on our way. Later, asked Jennifer, so you thought we were going to kill ourselves. If we would have all been killed, what were you planning to do? Like, you would have been the only one left alive in our family. So what were you planning to do? And she said, well, I was going to get Sony to take me back to Port-au-Prince to Paul and Esther Overholt, and then I was going to get them to get me a ticket to go back to Canada, and I was going to live with Amos Esches. And, okay, she had a plan. She knew what she was going to do. She had thought it through. If she was sure we were all going to die, and if we did, she knew exactly what she was going to do. She had a plan. So when things happen, it's good to have a plan. What are you going to do if things don't work out and if things don't go, or even if things do go as you expect? What's your next step? What are you going to do next? It's always good to have a plan.